a subject you must not fear if you want to succeed as an entrepreneur. This is podcast part 2 from the posts of Dr. Strive Masiwa. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. If you want to launch an entrepreneurship revolution, which will see tens of thousands of new businesses that employ millions of people across Africa, one of the first steps is to ensure basic accounting as mandatory for all school and college leavers. As I told you a few weeks ago, one of the greatest inventions of all time is credited to famous artist Leonardo da Vinci's math teacher, an Italian monk in the 15th century. In the 1400s, more than 600 years ago, the balance sheet used in business accounting and management. If I had my way, every entrepreneur in Africa would learn how to do a simple balance sheet of their business by themselves without help. For most of you, this question is one that should be very familiar to you by now. Assets equals liability plus owner's equity. It is so simple that if you don't know how to balance a balance sheet today, in just 1 month you will have begun to master it, even if you don't pass maths in high school. You have this basic training and venture to learn more. Then you will acquire skills to build the process in the 3 P's. You cannot build scale if you don't drive it from financial management. My team put together a few links on the basics for you this week in the afterthoughts, but it's just a sampling. You must do your own homework here. Even if you simply want to invest in companies that are listed, then you will never do it properly unless you are able to read basic financials and to track them over time. Now, besides the reading and preparing financial statements, where else are numbers the language of business? Be prepared to show potential investors that you are well read about your industry, including in numbers. When you prepare your pitch, paint the opportunity in numbers, not emotions. Memorize the figures you can, but in case you suddenly get a brain freeze, have them at hand in your notes. If you have watched even one episode of Shark Tank or The Profit, you know exactly what I am saying here, especially for deeper analytical questions where they are busy crunching the numbers to see if your business offers an exciting investment opportunity. You don't want to be digging around in your memory banks or worse. You have no idea what they are talking about at all. Let's say, for instance, you want an investor or a financer to put money into your soap-making venture. What can you tell about the history of soap making? What can you tell about the global soap making industry? What can you tell about the soap making in your country, history and the current status? What can you tell about trends in soap making? What can you tell about the raw materials and the issues of sustainability? What can you tell about where the technology of soap making is and where it might go? What is happening in the digital space? How is it marketed? Distribution strategies, talent and skills in the industry. The most serious investors usually come from the industry itself and are looking for you to impress them with your knowledge. Study to show yourself approved, someone worthy to be invested in. These questions apply to every single industry in the world. By now, you know the fear of maths and numbers is an acquired mindset. No one is born with this fear. If you still have it, please don't pass it on to your children. Help them to love numbers. It's never too soon. They will thank you later. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. Marcus Lemonis. Afterthought. You can't really know where you are going until you know where you have been and where you are right now. Adopted from Maya. What are we discussing in this particular post is often referred to as financial literacy. It is the most powerful tool in running a business or making sound investments. There are different levels of financial literacy. You don't have to hold a degree in maths or engineering to do the kinds of sums used in financial statements. That is the beauty of it, really. It is so simple. With just 3 years of high school maths, you can learn to read a basic set of accounts. It is absolutely necessary that you acquire this skill. I have never known a financier or investor to put their money into a business run by someone who is financially illiterate. Unfortunately, it is something you cannot fake because most bankers are trained to spot it immediately. Someone walks through the door, but they are also polite not to show that they know. There is more to financial literacy than running a business. Even the country requires financial literacy. We call it the budget almost everywhere in the world, but its very structure involves the same principles used in a business financial statement. It's all there. Sadly, in a lot of our legislatures around the world, a lot of people don't have the skills to interrogate the numbers. Many keep as quiet as possible when their finance minister is speaking, and then they clap. We find the same in media analysis that follows. Then we all scream and shout when things like inflation and the price rises occur. But it was all there in the so-called budget announcement. What would you give to be able to fully understand the economy of your country? What advantage would it give you if you knew what is likely to happen in a few months or even years ahead? I will never forget a discussion with a famous Harvard professor of economics to us in Harare in 1998. Within 2 years, your country will be plunged into hyperinflation, and it will take you decades to come out of the circles unless you really change course. That is what the numbers are screaming, even the ones your leaders try to hide. He was not a prophet, but a professor of economics who knew his numbers. Years later, I met the same economist, and he said, I had never in my life seen anything that bad. He just looked at the national budget statements. To be truly part of this discourse on the economy of your country, it helps to strengthen your financial literacy. A message to your pastor. So many churches who have excellent pastors who know the word of God and preach it diligently never realize their own growth potential because of a lack of financial literacy in the leadership. Church finances should not be exempt from the disciplines of financial literacy. Personally, I never asked to see the finances of any church I was in, but I have never wanted to be in a church where there is no discipline in money management. Whatever activity that involves money should use the same disciplines, even if you are running a non-profit NGO. Money is only elusive for those who have no financial literacy. These are the people who say things like, I don't know what is happening to my money, I make money and then it disappears. Such people are like a man who leaves his paycheck on the counter at the pub so he can go to the toilet, then asks everyone, did anyone see what happened to my money? Fool, I'm sorry to be tough on you guys, but anyone who cannot prepare a basic financial statement themselves is not going to realize their full potential. Do it. If the value of something is not understood, then abuse is inevitable. Miles Monroe. Consider this profound wisdom in the context of what we are discussing. Imagine if your high school principal came into your assembly and declared mathematics is the one subject most likely to make you a billionaire. If it is by honest means, how much attention would you have paid to it? Now you know its value, and it is not too late. Financial literacy is the key for entrepreneurs and even those who want to run anything. In the numbers, financial statements. Ask Warren Buffett or any top investor on Wall Street. That is all those guys do. Study the numbers, and the better they are at it, the richer they get. Those who cannot understand the numbers of themselves spend their time watching and listening to those who can. So which one do you want to be? Get knowledge? Financial literacy is at real language of money. So this is some of the posts from Dr. Swai Masiwa. If you want to know much more of these posts, you just go to his page. So I'm trying to simplify so that I can put some of the podcasts that can be easily heard without reading. Thank you for listening to me.